Through 2020, there was one thing we could always rely on to restore hope and bring tears of joy. You, our Denver7 Gives viewers.
You gave hundreds of thousands of dollars to people right here in our community who are having a tough time. And your generosity went a long way toward making their lives better.
Real tough. I mean, like, I'm just watching everything I've worked for my whole life go down the drain.
I don't want my kids calling for me because they dying.
I've never seen fire like this.
You're numb, and you've been told that it's gone.
These are the sights and sounds that will define 2020 in the eyes of so many people.
You just can't imagine how that feels.
Sometimes in the dark of night, Cheryl and I will cry.
The loss.
It's not fair.
The anguish.
Am I going to lose my livelihood?
The anger.
We need to start standing up and protecting ourselves.
The divine. And the tears. So many tears.
What's going to happen to me?
And while that is how 2020 will be remembered across our country, we choose to focus on tears of happiness, relief, and hope. The tears of people in need helped by strangers who care.
Really sad? Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
The thanks go to you, our Denver7 viewers who opened your hearts and wallets to help so many people in their darkest hours. You donated so much to so many in need.
I only had about 15 minutes to get out.
When the wildfires swept across our state, devouring homes and businesses, devastating dozens and dozens of families, you stepped up, Colorado. We asked you to contribute to our Denver7 Gives Fund, and boy, did you. You helped us buy hundreds of meals for evacuees. You've already donated almost $300,000 to date, and all week we have been spending your money on the people who need it most.
And had me down on my knees.
It's because of the community that we exist, so when something like this happens, we want to be part of giving back.
Because of you, we were able to buy clothes and blankets and shovels and boots and foods and so much more. We were able to fill trucks twice over with the things people needed most. Great partners like Ace Hardware and Walmart saw what we were doing and gave us deep discounts or donated pallets of products. And because of you, we were able to give tens of thousands of dollars to local charitable organizations that will help fire victims for months to come.
They really are just so giving.
That's humbling.
Again, it's all because of you and the more than $280,000 you trusted us with.
There have been more days than I care to admit where I kind of have to sit in the parking lot, decompress, some tears involved before I'm able to drive home.
Arguably, the biggest story of the year has been the crushing toll COVID has taken on so many.
People have reached out to me on Facebook and they said how special Mom has made them feel.
Hundreds of lives lost in our state, businesses closed, families shattered.
Even though I survived the COVID, I felt like we were all alone.
Ravi Turman nearly died of COVID. And while in a coma and on a ventilator at UC Health, she and her daughter were kicked out of their rental. Ravi survived the disease but lost her job and found herself living in a hotel just $2 to her name. $2 until you heard her story. Within a week, you helped us find her a place to live and put food on her table. And we have now raised $20,000 for Ravi. And thanks to you, she has a new lease on a nearly lost life.
That much money in my life.
My mom and dad, they work so hard for me and my brother so we can finish school.
You touched the lives of so many others during this pandemic. A resting place for 10I, a worker at the JBS meatpacking plant who died from COVID at 60.
I was angry for a little bit that he was gone.
A headstone for a hero. Paul Carey, a retired Aurora paramedic who answered the desperate call for help in New York, only to contract COVID himself. His return, a bittersweet tribute to a man who made the ultimate sacrifice.
He got the call to go to New York, and he didn't hesitate to go.
You helped save a VW post close to closing because of COVID.
The generosity that just keeps coming has been amazing, and thank you very much.
Veterans. You've helped so many veterans, like Jeffrey Paulson.
I looked all over for that thing. I couldn't find it, so I gave up.
A disabled vet who had very little in his life and less when someone stole his scooter.
For Channel 7, I'm going to offer this check to you guys.
He reached out to us months earlier, giving us a check for an elderly couple that was scammed out of a scooter. He couldn't give much, he told us, but he wanted to contribute what he could.
Only
I'm overwhelmed.
Well, you did the same for him, contributing enough money to replace that scooter and pay his rent for the year.
I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you. And I really appreciate it.
There are so many more stories to tell. These are the faces of the people whose lives you've changed. You've helped us give them cars and wheelchairs and housing. You've helped pay hospital bills, grocery bills, and mortgages. Best of all, you've given them something money can't buy. You have given them hope and faith in human nature. And during these difficult times, you have proven there is more that unites us than divides us.
They've raised $6,000 for Tiny Town.
And our generous viewers, we'd like to present the Grand Lake Fire Protection District.
We brought in breakfast. Got lunch.
And I wish I could thank each and every one of you individually. From the bottom of my heart, I'm so grateful.
Wow. Thank you so much. So.
Beyond words, it's so amazing, and thank you so much.
It really shows you how good people are, and there are so many good people.